Okay, so we've built this Notebook LM. We have some really good quality tools and sources that we have found or that we already had, maybe some video links that we want to use as well. So we've got a lot of good quality content. We've looked at how to set up our chatbot, one to be the type of character that we want to talk to the kids, but also that we are able to share that with those students now. So once it's in Google Classroom, of course, you can, as a teacher, can determine you may want it accessible by parents as well, to help with the kids when they're out of class learning. Now we go into Studio. Studio is a mix of presentation tools available to the teacher to create videos. These tools are very editable. So when I go into one of them, you can see I have different formats. I can really customize this tool to what it is I want to present to the kids, but also the formats I want to present it in. So, these are very interesting ones that we have pre-built, but we can also include different areas here. So maybe in this case, the AI hosts are going to focus on fruit flies. Maybe they're going to focus on calico cats. Maybe they're going to focus on humans' hairy ears. Whatever it is that we're wanting to put into our content, we can build that out here and we can create this. And while it's creating, I would also suggest that you may want to look at challenges with kids with, say, secondary languages or their primary language is not English. We can create the exact same tool, in this case an audio overview, in different languages. So, if we have Romanian kids or we want to do it in Spanish, French, that's all available here as well. So we can create two different versions of the same tool. So we're starting to differentiate the type of content based on the student. So we're delivering content to the student rather than bringing the student to content. And this is available on all of these tools that we can start to customize. So in the video case, we can start to look at visual styles and themes and build content in a style or a watercolor format, whatever it is that you feel is appropriate. And again, more importantly, we can deliver that in two different languages as well. When we get down into some of these, such as the infographics, where we're going to create some really cool infographics, the other part that we can look at is that we can start to build in here prompts. And again, we'll share some prompts through the Learning Hub. But we can start to put in prompts around what we want this infographic to look like. But also we may want to put in that currently is the grade 12 module, but we may have some kids who are struggling with language or knowledge at that level. We may ask it to rewrite this as a, or actually it would rather than rewrite, we would want to present this at grade 10 level. And it will create it. So we've created one for the main group of kids. Now we've got some kids who are a little challenged. We want to put that in here. Now we know that those kids have a love of cats. And so focus on calico genetics. And so it will create based on what you want to present within here. Now this is again, an adjunct to the content you've already created. This allows you just to differentiate for some of those kids in class or a group that you want to see different. You may have different groups working on, for example, one group working on cat genetics, one working on fruit flies, working on human genetics, one working on sickle cell anemia, things like that. So you have those options to put that sort of content into different infographics. And then the same thing, obviously, when we come to slide decks. So let's quickly just run through some of these so you can see. We've got a fairly basic level. soft, warm feeling to a poster maybe that you want in the classroom or that you want to share into Google Classroom. If we want something a little bit more technical, and we can make these as deep dive and as technical as you want, but I think, you know, the fact that we are just linking it to your curriculum, your content is the most important part. Talked about why calico cats are female. So again, we can make it very, very specific around something. Then we can look at creating tables as well. So as we develop out, we can create some assignment tables or some reference tables to allow kids to help better understand the topics that we covered, and a great little summary. And again, that is very, very editable as a table, so you can make sure that it's including whatever you want in there. And again, we have that option to include other languages as well. Moving on, we've got quizzes. So here's a quiz. This would be something you would typically post into the Google Classroom. Got all these questions. I'm not sure what they all mean. Can I get a hint? I'm going to be given a hint. Okay, let's say I don't know the answer, and I'm going to say that it is C, because I think that's where it should be. I'm getting told it's not correct. I'm getting told what the answer is. And if I click here, it will take me back to the chatbot window, and the chatbot will go through your content and help explain how it came to that answer and why the student got it wrong. So this is a great way of going, okay, I didn't get it right. I need to talk to somebody, but it's 8 o'clock at night at home. I can chat to the chatbot. And the beauty is everything in the chatbot will be retained. So if they're still not comfortable with the answer, they can come back to you the next day or the next lesson to get clarification on what's happening there. We do flashcards. Great for you as a teacher. Throw up on the screen. Maybe you've got teams or groups, or you want to just gauge where everybody is on the learning scale. 30 kids, 28 gave one answer, 2 gave another answer. We can see the answer. Again, if we wanted to go further, we could use a chatbot to help explain that, but it gives you as a teacher an opportunity to work through where the kids are at. We can create really cool slideshows. These don't export as a PowerPoint, but they do get shared in the classroom. So kiddo can just hit play up here when they've opened it, and they have whatever slide presentations you have created. Now, obviously, all the graphics, everything else, not your worry. You just want to make sure that the content makes sense, and that when we're doing something like this, does it look correct to you? I would caution, just like any AI, today's the worst that NotebookLM will ever be, but there may well be some spelling typos in there. So it doesn't hurt just to go through and make sure that everything is covered the way you want it to be and it is accurate. You can, as I say, pull this out as a PDF, so you could actually pull this into an editing tool and replace words that are incorrect, or you can also eliminate any of those slides that you're not comfortable with being in there. You can also rerun it. So if it's not covering what you want, then rerun the whole thing. Now we're going to go on. We can create videos. It's not that I'm a cat fan. I just wanted to keep consistency here so you could see as we work through.
Hey everyone, and welcome. You know, if you've ever seen a calico cat, you're actually looking at a living, breathing genetic puzzle. So today, we're going to be detectives and solve the mystery that's woven right into their fur. And it all starts with one big question. And there it is. This is the heart of the mystery. You might have heard this as a fun fact, but...
So, as before, it's building down here. We can scroll through. If we want to replay just one section as a
A
student, I got
fascinating
this.
exception, and this one does not disappoint. Get ready for a little plot twist.
So again, all available in Google Classroom for the kiddo to look at. And the last one I want to cover off is the audio file. So we can create a podcast between two speakers who will have a discussion around what the cat's, around genetics. We, as the teacher, can set up what they're going to have in that discussion. As we saw in the beginning, we can make it very, very focused. We can make it of a different level, different type. And of course, as always, we could run two different themes of these. It may be we want multiple language versions. We can just keep repeating this to create different versions. But now we've got this podcast. We can play it, or we can be interactive with it. I'm going to suggest we're interactive. So I'm going to play this, and then I'm going to interrupt them while they're talking, and you can see how it responds to my questions.
Okay, let's just jump right in with something I think is one of the most fascinating little facts in genetics. If you see a cat with 3 colors, black, orange, and white patches, a calico, you can be almost 100% certain that cat is female.
It's an incredible observation, and it's so visually obvious once you know what to look for. And if you do find a male calico, you've stumbled upon a genuine genetic rarity.
How?
Oh, our listeners got something to share. Let's hear it.
Can you tell me, is this the same with ginger cats and males?
That is a wonderful question.
Okay, let's unpack this right now.
Yes, the genetics of orange or ginger cats are absolutely related to what we're talking about with calicos.
Here's where it gets really interesting.
Remember we said the gene for orange and black is on the X chromosome?
A male cat only has one X.
So this is going to allow the kiddo to participate in this podcast and ask questions. And it will redirect some of the focus in the podcast towards helping the kid understand the rules around ginger cats, calico cats, etc. So again, it gives another offline tool, another offline help when they're not in the classroom. And as always, these things can be shared. We can download straight MP4s if we want. I think the value for the student is being able to use that one and interact with the two presenters. Again, the answers will only ever be based on the content that you have provided. I hope this helps and gives you a little quick snippet into the possibilities around NotebookLM to help you create classroom lessons and content that you can reuse, recycle, and you can edit and update over future years. Thank you.